we are live with the RCW Season 4, Episode 3. So, we're going to start it off here by doing Rob Van Dam versus Jeff Hardy. So, RVD looking to redeem himself after his debut loss. I believe it was against Randy Orton that he went up against in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Oh my god. What was... Mic on? What? Mic on, mic off, mic on. Okay. That was weird. It was like mic on, mic off, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And, you know, it was acting all weird. Because, with this headset, it tells me when the mic's off and when the mic is on, so I think I must have just put it up a little too high. That's fine though. But before we get into you know, the first matchup, as I grab my special folder here, this special folder has all the results of the previous episodes of Lockdown and RCW, so let's go over that first. So we had Chris Danger versus Ricochet, and that match was a match of the ages, and that was to start off a show. So Danger won that match. We had Sky versus Tony with Luna at ringside, in which I believe Luna kicked, or Tony kicked out of Skyfall 3 times. What's up, John? Good to have you here, man. We're just going over the last results of the last episode of RCW here, and then we'll start talking about Elimination Chamber that happened last night, which was phenomenal, if I do say so myself. That was pretty good. So we had, for the next match, we had Sky versus Tony Storm in a 2 out of 3 falls. And Luna was at ringside watching this. And honestly, I believe it was Tony that kicked out of Skyfall 3 times. So that was... I honestly, it's hard to say if Sky's losing her touch or not. Some of you have been speculating that Sky might be losing her touch, or she might be a little scared of Luna, and I think, with that said, I think it's important that we go over exactly what transpired on Twitter last night. And it was Luna Outlaw who had sent out a tweet that Sky responded to, and it reads this: "All my life I was looked at as the younger sister who could never step up. All the boys in school hit on me. I would have put them all down if it weren't for Brian stepping in. I want you, Sky, one-on-one, Skyfall versus the Dawning. Let's see who's better." So then, obviously, that's quite the challenge issued by Luna. I've never seen her actually publicly issue a challenge. Usually the Outlaws are never one to publicly issue a challenge. Usually they make a statement in some other way, shape, or form. But I guess Luna really just wanted to get it out of the way and say, hey, let's do this. Let's do this at a pay-per-view. Let's get this over with. And I really think it's Luna, like, asserting herself, her being assertive, and her allowing her to feel this sort of toughness that she knows that she has, and she knows that she's capable of beating her sister, and I feel like she wants to prove that. So then Sky had responded, "If the boss man confirms it, I'll sign on the dotted line, sis." So Sky is definitely all for it. But Luna's reply definitely had me a little shocked a little bit. And it says, Be ready for the match of your life. Skyfall must come down at some point, and then dawning will begin. So that was... Obviously, Luna is very confident if that match ends up happening. And as we get closer and closer to the pay-per-view, which is episode 10 of this season, as we get closer and closer to Anarchy, which is the first pay-per-view of the season, matches will be made. And I think based on that, I think we will have a sister versus sister championship match at Anarchy. I think it's only right if we do have that. And not only that, but I had a chance to talk with Sky and Luna on both of their on the opportunity if they ended up facing each other. And I also, with that said, I also got to speak with them on the awesome fact that they ended up going one-on-one in the Elimination Chamber for a little bit at Forsaken, which was amazing. That Sky's take on it was, my sister and I bring out the best in each other. If beating me for the title is what she has to do, then so be it. I would be nothing but happy for her. And honestly, I don't know if she's just saying that or if she actually means that, because honestly, at this point, I think it's one of those things where Sky's very confident, and they both are. All the Outlaws are. But I feel like there's a little bit of doubt in her mind that Luna could beat her, and I think she doesn't want to face the fact that Luna can beat her, and possibly will beat her for the title. They've faced off against each other, but they never faced off for a title. And obviously, going into a title match is completely different than going into a regular match. Your strategy's completely different. You know that the title's on the line, and especially if there's no champion's advantage, where Sky can just leave the ring and get counted out and not lose the title. So if it ends up being one of those matches where champion's advantage isn't involved, then Sky's even more in a hole. But I think I agree with what Sky said, in the sense that they bring out the best in each other. And with Sky training Luna and training her for her RCW debut in Season 3, I feel like these two know each other the best. And I feel like because of that, we're going to get one of the greatest matches we've ever seen on RCW. So I sort of asked the same question for Luna, and I said, is it time for you to be champion? What does it feel like? What would it feel like to be champion? And she said, the dawning will begin soon enough, and everyone will know the even darker side of an outlaw, something you've never seen before. So we've seen a lot of different sides of the Outlaws, and with the Outlaws, they just do whatever they want to do. But it kind of scares me, especially the fact that she said an even darker side of an outlaw, something that we've never seen before. So that is definitely... I don't know what that means, but judging by that, I'm gonna guess it's not good. For Sky anyway. And honestly, they put on a clinic when it was during the Elimination Chamber match. They put on a clinic. That was, even though it was only for a couple minutes, that last hurrah of that match, that was historic. And I think having a full one-on-one match, no matter the match type, I think it's going to be great either way. But with that said, the last match that we had at last episode was Mustafa Ali versus Hideo Itami in a no-holds-barred match, in which Mustafa Ali became the victor. We also had Seth Rollins versus EC3, and Seth Rollins wanted to prove to himself that he deserved another title opportunity, whether it be a World Championship or the Carnage title, as we're still looking for opponents for Edge and Mustafa Ali. Now, with Edge, I'm thinking of having a fatal 4-way or possibly even a fatal 5-way, even if that's possible, match where the winner of that match will be the #1 contender for it. And within that match, there will be qualifying matches that make you qualify for that fatal 4-way. We also had Conor Fury versus Finn Balor. Now, that match was pretty insane because Miles Anderson came out of nowhere and attacked Finn Balor during that match. So that was pretty crazy. And I guarantee we will either hear from Miles or from Finn Balor himself tonight regarding that attack. Now, Miles isn't the type of guy, just kind of like the Outlaws, he isn't the type of guy to really say why he does things. He just does things. But I guarantee that we're going to hear from at least one of those men tonight. So with all of that said, let's get going. We'll definitely talk about Elimination Chamber and the amount of heart that came from Kofi last night. I think that was tremendous. I thought, even though I wanted Kofi to win the title, I thought that was like tremendous, a way of ending it, making him go up against Daniel Bryan and definitely prove his worth. And I think at some point he will actually get another title opportunity and possibly become champion. I feel like the New Day is great and all, but at the same time, I remember Kofi as a singles champion, and it was great, and I would love to see that again. I feel like after seeing that happen in Elimination Chamber, he deserves that spot. He deserves another opportunity, and a one-on-one opportunity, because it's a totally different ball game when it's a one-on-one opportunity, and I feel like he deserves that. As far as Sasha Banks and Bayley, I thought that match was great, the tag team match. I thought that was awesome. Uh-oh, Triple H! Coming out and attacking Rob Van Dam before the match. And we're not even gonna have that match. Looks like. RVD wins automatically, but we have a crazy matchup happening here. We have Sabre and Phoenix versus the Usos, the White Dragons, as they like to call themselves. Sabre and Phoenix, they know each other very well, as Phoenix mentored Sabre, so it would be interesting to see how they are as a tag team. I believe it's Sabre's and Phoenix's first match here on RCW, and what better way to do that than in tag team action. We'd seen Sabre one-on-one in matches on Lockdown, and based on seeing those matches, I think it's going to be great to see these two, and even see them one-on-one eventually. But yeah, that women's chamber match was freaking awesome, especially when Nia Jax went through the pod there. I knew Bayley and Sasha were going to win it, and I think a good storyline would either be Sasha turning on Bayley because of that, that whole spat that they had with the counseling thing. I think that would be a good storyline, them getting into a rivalry again because of the NXT thing. They put on a clinic with NXT matches, and I think that would be a good storyline to start off with if scripted right and if done well. like, obviously it's too early because they just won the tag team titles, but I can picture something happening where, you know, Sasha ends up turning on Bayley. Bayley turning on Sasha, I don't really see happening, but Sasha turning on Bayley, I can definitely see happening one way or the other. And the White Dragons look like they are ready to go. Against the Usos, who also won their tag team match against Miz and Mac, Shane McMahon and the Miz. I knew that wasn't gonna last too long. Now it can start a feud between Miz and Shane. Now I think even though I don't see that really being that entertaining, but that's just me. So we have Sabre and Jimmy Uso starting off the match, and both of them missing their opening attacks here. And again, Jimmy Uso just shoving Sabre away. Sabre's pretty small, so... I didn't think they were going to retain. I thought it was just going to be one of those one-off things. I didn't really think that they were going to retain. I just didn't think that they were going to lose. But now they can build up that storyline up to Mania and possibly get a Miz and Shane match for Mania or something. I think that's how I see them doing it. Tags in Phoenix. This is the first time we've seen Phoenix here on RCW 2 as well. Kofi, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that... I was like literally jumping out of my seat wanting him to win that match. I probably knew he wasn't going to win the match, but I swear I wanted him to so bad. I mean, I like the New Day and everything, but you know, tag team titles aren't as rewarding as singles titles. If you're not, unless you're like the Hardy Boys or some decorated tag team like the Dudley Boys, it's not really that rewarding. Besides the first ever like women's tag team champions. Like, I think that Kofi being a singles champion again would be awesome to see. What the hell was that? Okay, that was a punch. I didn't even know. There was like no animation there. I don't know what it was. It looked weird. That looked weird. That looked hella weird. I still got to come up with names of his signatures and finishers. You know, I still got to come up with a name for it. Yeah, for sure. You know, like I said, with wrestling fans, I feel like with wrestling fans, like there are sports team fan bases that I absolutely hate, but I feel like there are a lot of wrestling fans that I hate more than taking Sabre and planting Sabre on Jimmy Uso. Wow, what a tag team maneuver there. But I feel like with wrestling fans, like, they are the most, like, I don't know, like, negative people. Like, they'll always find the most, like, negative thing to, like, say, or they're the most, like, unpleasable people. Yeah, right. You know, like, yeah, as a super kick gets landed to Sabre, but, you know, it's like, who cares what happens? Like, yeah, it could be predictable. Like, I'm fine with it being predictable, but if it's a good match where maybe, like, I probably knew that Daniel Bryan was going to win, but at the same time, I also thought that Kofi was going to win. There was many times in that matchup, like, I was like, what if Kofi actually wins this? You know? There was many times where I actually thought that, and Jey Uso finally gets tagged into this match. I don't know why Sabre and Phoenix are getting booed here. I said it for them to be cheered, but I guess it's just because of the Usos. And a senton by Sabre, and I think he's tagging in Phoenix again. And yes, he is. He's tagging in Phoenix, and Phoenix driving Jay's face into the canvas. Yeah, I watched Kofi since he debuted too as well, and you know, I watched Kofi for a long time. And you know, it's even before the whole New Day thing and everything, you know, and I think he deserved to be in that match, and more than anybody else. I mean, I'm sorry that Mustafa Ali couldn't compete, but honestly, after seeing that, I would have rather seen Kofi against Daniel Bryan than Mustafa Ali. I think Mustafa Ali would have gotten eliminated sooner if he were in that match. I don't really know how they would have run that, but I'm glad that they chose Kofi as one of the guys to be in that match to replace Mustafa Ali. Super kick by Phoenix. Oh, what's he going for here? What's he lining up for? A kick right to the face of Jey Uso. Uh-oh. Oh, everything. Oh, yeah. That is true. I don't know how. I'm just glad that, you know, we got a good match regardless of Ali being in it or not, you know. I love Mustafa Ali both, but, you know, I was really excited to see Kofi in there. Jey Uso able to get up. Get out of that one. Doesn't have his brother to tag, though. Phoenix needs to find a way to get to his corner to tag in Sabre in this match. And Jey Uso trying to possibly break the leg. He's the underdog at SmackDown Live, but the story works just as good with the underrated Kofi. Yeah, I feel like Kofi is very underrated because he's always with the New Day. And when you're always in a tag team, you know, scenario, like sometimes when you wrestle individually, people forget about just how good you were, like as an individual wrestler. You know, sometimes that might happen. What's Sabre going for here? A little bit of a reversal. Irish whip. I don't know what Sabre was looking at there. But he's got to be careful, as Jey Uso has 2 finishers to work with. Super kick to Jey Uso. Looking for Nightmare on Jey Uso. Uh-oh. He might land it. Nightmare on Jey Uso. And Sabre and Phoenix win. Oh, I gotta change their victory music. Remind me to do that. Them shaking hands. It's not like Kofi was stealing anything from Ali. Like when a former multi-champion takes the spotlight of a new star, despite Kofi being a veteran, he never got the big one, so he's justified. It's just a shame for Ali because he could have been cemented as a true main eventer. Yeah, that too. But you know, injuries happen, man, and you gotta. And I'm pretty sure Mustafa realizes that, and he'll get another opportunity like that again. He will. Like, he's just that type of guy. I think he's too good not to get an opportunity like that again. I'm not saying it's going to be at Mania or anything like that, but I'm saying that he will get an opportunity. I'd love to see him as champion like one day. That would be great to see him as champion. If anything, I feel like Mustafa should be the one to beat Daniel Bryan for the title. Because that would be one hell of a match. This is why I hate the schedule they have to work. Because it's... Yeah, it does. It really does. But Finn Balor has something to say. Possibly gonna address the attack that Miles Anderson had on him in the last episode. What is RCW? Most talented, exceptionally handsome. You missed one match. You missed the debut match of Phoenix and Sabre here on RCW, but other than that, you didn't miss much. Oh, and Triple H came out and hit Rob Van Dam with the sledgehammer. This guy makes jokes, he makes threats, and what's up? Walks with Ed. Yeah, your guys will be on lockdown first. As far as RCW, they probably won't be on RCW, but for a while anyway. But you guys will be on lockdown. We just premiered the season 2, so your guys are right now on the lockdown roster. They haven't debuted yet or anything. This chump is beneath me because he doesn't seem to know it yet. He's trying to slither his way up to my level. I guess it's time to slap him down where he belongs. Okay, Miles Anderson, you asked for it. Come out here. Finn Balor is not having anything with Miles Anderson. He wants him to come out, and I think... And Miles is definitely not a guy to turn down a fight. Here he is, the Ghost and the Demon in the same ring. I know you guys weren't expecting me out here right now, especially you, but if there's one thing I know about RCW that the fans enjoy is surprises. Now, lately, you and I have had some differences. I'm here tonight because it's time for the two of us to have a discussion. Wow. I don't think Finn is up for a discussion. Oh man, what a treat, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to introduce you to the man who does try his very best. Give it up for him. Come on, let's hear it. Give him a more standing ovation. It's not every day he gets one. Wow. Wow, Finn. I'm tired of your games, your spit talking, coming to this ring and shooting on other different superstars. That's an interesting way of putting it. Let me tell you, friends, it gets old. Everyone out here and in the back is tired of you running your mouth. It's time you either put up or shut up. Wow. Maybe he's referring to the breakup of him and Aleister Black. Maybe if you all listened to me and heard what I said, I wouldn't have to come out here all the time and keep saying the same things. But no, nobody listens to me. Why does no one listen to me? I have important things to relate, and you will hear what I have to say. Wow. Finn, you're not really helping yourself out here. Seeing you up close like this, I never realized just how awful your teeth are. You've got a straggled tooth. You're a saber-tooth tiger. That's freaking weird. This is weird, the promo engine. Except nowhere near as threatening. You're more like a little kitten. Maybe you should have stayed at home where your ugly mug would have been safe. Wow. You know that's all makeup, right, Miles? You know that's just all makeup by our makeup team? If you want this to happen, we can make this happen. I know the RCW universe wants to see it, but if you think you could just come out here, insult me, and make me look bad, then you don't know me. Nobody gets away with doing something like that. I'll prove myself to you right now if I have to. Wait, Finn. Wait. I suggest you wait. Another night, another long-witted diatribe by the walking bagpipes of RCW. What? This is so weird. Seriously, do you ever listen to yourself when you speak? All that hot air coming out of your mouth, risen to the temperature in this place by 10 degrees. Even worse, I think everyone in the first 3 rows can agree that a little mouthwash. Oh my god. This is so weird. This is so weird. I didn't even know what Finn said because it probably would have been weird. I had to say I'm not angry or combative or even annoyed. What I am is bored. Talk is cheap and yours the cheapest I ever heard. You want to make those words count? This is where I'll be. Wow. Miles with the making a statement here. Yeah, pull your phone out. Take a picture of that in the crowd there. But I think it's safe to say that tensions are rising between those two. But we're moving on here with Luna Outlaw versus Sasha Banks, with Sky Outlaw accompanying her with ringside, and Sasha Banks' best friend, Bayley, doing the same for Sasha. This should be a very interesting matchup between these two ladies. I think Sky's sort of doing the same thing, scouting Luna to see what she is capable of one-on-one. Maybe there's something different that she's changing up. Who knows? But I promise you that if that match ends up happening, if we end up getting Sky Outlaw versus Luna Outlaw for the RCW Women's title, it is definitely going to be a match of the ages, if not the main event of the pay-per-view. And honestly, I think a match like that even deserves a main event. But Sky is coming up on the longest reigning RCW Women's Champion. She's only 10 days behind Paige at the moment. But when the lights go out and the dawning begins, you know exactly what's going to happen here. Look at, you can barely see Sky as she's coming out here. You can't even see her at all. She's just a shadowy figure. But as you heard earlier, what I said about Luna and Sky possibly being in a matchup and how bad Luna wants this matchup, Sky definitely agreed to it, as she said, if I confirm it, she'll sign on the dotted line. And a lot of you guys loved how the Women's Elimination Chamber match ended, with it being Luna versus Sky for a couple minutes or two. And just the amount of tension building up, I think in both Sky and Luna, the best way to handle that is inside the ring. But we have the boss, Sasha Banks, making her way out here. DX, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, X-Pac, and China are to be inducted. Oh, finally China gets into the Hall of Fame. Finally. But the boss, I want to take a picture of that because that looks cool. I keep forgetting to, but now I have it, so it's perfect. And a spear to start this match off from Luna Outlaw, and the quickness of the Outlaws. Sasha definitely has to take that into account there, and a German suplex to Sasha Banks, and Bayley can't do anything about it. She just has to watch on here. No sells that kick there. Ooh, look at this footwork. Oh, but look at the reversal. And the head scissor takedown. Yeah, everybody was saying that because she did some things that she wasn't getting put in the Hall of Fame, and now and the funny thing is everybody's bashing Paige now because the same thing happened to Paige too. But you know, Samoan drop to Sasha Banks. She is in trouble as multiple knee strikes right to the head of the boss. And Bayley causing a little bit of a distraction, helping. Helping Sasha. That's right, she's probably still angry about what happened in that matchup with, what was it, Violet Knight, I think. That was the qualifying matchup for the Elimination Chamber match. She's probably still carrying on some of that anger into a triangle. We haven't seen that from Luna Outlaw, but Sasha able to break out of that one. That was actually pretty cool. I didn't even know that I put that in her moveset. And now Sasha trying to have her way with Luna Outlaw. Goes for a pin. Gets only a 1 count. Luna very tough for someone her age. At only 19 years old, she's probably one of the toughest young ladies we have on this roster, and I think she definitely proved that. And again, Bayley causing the distraction. And Sasha gets right back up, gets in the face of the referee a little bit. I think the shoe's on the other foot here, because the Outlaws have been known to cause distractions too as well. And another head scissor takedown. Dragging Sasha to the middle of the ring. And more knee strikes to the head of the boss, Sasha Banks. Where's Luna going? Bayley throwing Luna back into the ring. I think she was going to try and go after Bayley. And Sasha able to reverse that. But then again, Luna able to reverse too as well. And another Samoan drop. Oh, Bayley's a little scared. Bayley took a step back. And a kick to the back of Luna. Oh no, and an inverted DDT. Bayley throwing in a chair for Sasha Banks. The weapon of choice of the Outlaws. Could we see Sasha possibly use that against her in a bulldog? The referee getting... Oh no, another distraction. I thought it was... And a spear to Sasha Banks. And just a 1 count. Referee being smart, getting rid of that chair though. A drop kick. Sasha trying to get back to her bearings. Just the quick kicks by Luna, and she's holding her leg a little bit. Sasha might be injured here. No sells that kick. And a bulldog of her own by Sasha. But you saw her holding her leg. I think she might have injured her leg a little bit. I think Luna did that with those kicks. Oh no. Planting Luna Outlaw, but Sky trying to distract the referee. Little bit of payback, I guess, and she's letting Luna get back up. Sasha just standing there. I don't know what she was standing there for. But Bayley again distracting Luna Outlaw, and Sasha able to take advantage. Takes her down. Don't you dare. See, Bayley's getting a little terrified. I think she's getting a little scared. Moving her hands back. Again, the suplex. Right to Sasha Banks. The referee has to keep an eye on this matchup here. Blackout, no. Sasha Banks able to get out of that one. Oh no. Bank statement locked in. Bank statement locked in. But Luna gets out of it. Into a pin. And Sasha barely kicks out at 2. What a match this is. And again takes Luna down with a Hurricane Rana. Rolls up Luna. 2. And Luna kicks out at 2. Uh-oh. What's Sasha going for here? I guess she's a little glitched a little bit, just deciding to walk it off. Is she walking that leg injury off? I don't know, she might be. Irish whip to the corner. Uh-oh, what are we going to see here? What are we going to see here? Oh no, using the double knees. This is something Sasha likes to do. Double knees to Sasha Banks. Using her own move against her. That's got to be probably one of the most embarrassing things ever. And Sasha kicked out. Somehow. Luna's got to find a way to get going, and Luna's fired up now. Lifts her up. Looking for blackout again. No, Sasha able to reverse it a second time. But Luna able to reverse the bank statement. Looking for a Falcon Arrow, but Sasha able to reverse that too as well. And an Irish whip into her corner. Kick to the back again. What a match. We've had a couple distractions. Give credit to Bayley for helping Sasha in this matchup. And a one count. Luna able to kick out. Sasha wondering what does she have to do. Oh no. What's she going for here? Kick right to the back of the neck. And Sasha is very happy about it. Sasha going to the top rope. What's she going for here? I don't know. And Sasha got Luna got the knees up, excuse me. I keep getting these ladies mixed up a little bit, but this is insane. And elbows to the head of the boss. Remember, Bayley's out there. Oh no! Dawning on Sasha Banks. And Sasha kicked out again. This is crazy. Sky is just sitting here watching this whole thing happen. I mean, she distracted the ref once, but granted, if you take the amount of times that Bayley has been involved, and finally able to hit a blackout, but not enough stamina for the finisher. But Sasha able to strike back, and Luna able to strike back in a Samoan drop. Luna is beat. She is tired right now. She is tired. What's up, Parker? Luna taking a little bit of too much time. Uh-oh. What's Sasha going for here? Stretching out the arm. And a stomp right on the arm of Luna Outlaw. And another stomp to the back of the head. Uh-oh. No, I'm not in my career. I don't like the my career this year. I never really played my career in WWE because I never really liked it. This is Universe mode. This is my own created wrestling show with custom superstars as well as WWE superstars. It's basically my own Raw or SmackDown, and another blackout looking for the dawning again, but Sasha able to reverse that too. Can she land the Falcon Arrow finally? No, Sasha reversed it again. And a body slam to Sasha Banks, and Luna is once again beat, trying to just figure out a way. I think the ref needs to really take control of this matchup here. We've seen way too many distractions from from Bailey and rolls her up. It only gets a 2 count. Side Russian leg sweep. Yeah, I don't really like the My Career. I appreciate the direction that 2K wants to take it in, but it didn't give me the opportunity of what I wanted to do with it. And a clothesline turning Sasha inside out. Like, it doesn't give you the opportunity to be heel. Like, you can't be heel. You have to be face. And I just think taking those choices away is really stupid. Like, I want to be able to do what I want to do with it. Like, I don't want to have to obey by a story. But I think it's kind of cool what they tried to do with it. I just don't think they went the right way in doing it. Lifts up Sasha, looking for a slap, and Sasha reverses. Irish whip. Taking Luna down. Looking for the bank statement again. Uh-oh. Backstabber. Into the bank statement, but a rope break. That might have been Luna's saving grace there. And Luna kicked out at 2. See, in 2K19, you can't do that. You can't choose what title you want to go out after. You have to like obey the story and stuff. Like, you can't choose to be a tag team. You can't even go after the tag team titles. You have to go after the United States title and the Universal title. Like, you can't even be in a tag team in My Career. So it kind of defeats the purpose. And a blackout. Yeah, you can, with Universe mode, you can make your own matches. Well, you can do that anyway, but with Universe mode, you can make your own matches, make your own, like, whole entire match card, make pay-per-views, make your own logos, you know, add superstars to the roster, make your own titles, all of that stuff. You can do all of it with Universe mode. There's a lot of stuff. There's even stuff that probably you can do with Universe mode that I have no idea about. Looking for the dawning, but Sasha able to reverse. Going for the bank statement one more time. And Luna's in trouble, but a rope break again. Able to get her foot on the rope. And the ref. Hello, ref. Ref, her hand was on the rope. Her hand was on the rope, ref. Ref, what the hell? Her hand was on the rope. No, you don't have to pay for it. Like, in terms of, like, the features and stuff, you don't have to pay for it. The only thing you gotta pay for is, like, DLC and stuff, and that's if you want that. You don't necessarily have to pay for anything else. But, what the hell? The ref, her thing was on the rope? That shouldn't have been a win there. That shouldn't have been a win. She had her hand on the rope. It should have been rope break. Referee, you're gonna get fired. You're fired. You are fired. You messed this up, man. You've messed it up like 2 times. Oh, bro. That's not fair. You guys saw that. Her hand was on the rope, man. Oh, bro. Tell me you guys saw that. Tell me I'm not hallucinating. Downloadable content. That's what DLC stands for. So like, the DLC that they have is like new move packs where you can have new moves and new superstars, stuff like that. That's stuff you have to pay for if you want to. My roster, my pay-per-view, my RCW roster, it's way too big, man. It's way too big. There's so many superstars in this roster. There's like 300 or 400 superstars in this roster. But going back to the match, like, Jesus. Her hand was on the rope. Her hand was on the rope the whole time. The ref didn't see that. That is bull. That is bull. But Sasha wins one way or the other. But I have to say, Luna is definitely going to make a case about that. But we have Violet Knight versus Charlotte Flair in a submission match. This is a war of submissions. Black Death versus the Figure 4 lock into the bridge. So this should be very interesting as both of these ladies rely on their submissions to get wins. I mean, I don't think I've seen Violet get a win with the Black Death, but she has won outside of RCW before in her wrestling days in England with that submission. So let's see if it'll fare against Charlotte Flair. Who knows? But you guys saw that, right? Luna's hand was on the rope. I don't know. Thank you for the follow, Parker. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow. As we see Violet come out here for the first time. What's up, Carrie? How's it going? No, you're not booked on. You're not booked. I don't have any storylines to really use Noelle Diamond in right now, so that's why I won't book you if I don't have any storylines planned. Like, that's how it goes. I don't want to just book somebody randomly, because that's what WWE does. They don't care. They'll just book a match just to be a match filler, and I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to have a match just for, like, no reason. You will get booked. I just gotta find a storyline for you to fit in. And right now, I kind of want to roll with the storyline I got going with the Outlaw Sisters right now. I got a real good storyline that my buddy John and I talked over that we're running with right now. And I think Violet's ready to take on Charlotte Flair here in this matchup. And here she is, the queen of WWE, Charlotte Flair. Yeah, WWE doesn't take time to think matches through. They really don't. Like, the only matches that they really think through are like pay-per-view matches. No, they don't. They really don't, Gary. They really don't. Like, Elimination Chamber was great. But sometimes matches are very poorly written. But, you know, but for the most part, lately, I've liked how matches have been run. These matches, on the other hand, like, they take forever to... Storylines take forever to plan out. That's why sometimes I take longer breaks in between seasons of the show so I can write storylines out. But John always has my back when it comes to that kind of thing because he knows what he's doing when it comes to booking people. Charlotte grabbing a hold of Violet here, but Violet able to break out of it. A couple of kicks to the chest and just throwing Charlotte across the ring. Putting Charlotte's face into the canvas and an elbow drop. Violet going to the top rope. What's she thinking of here? Thinking twice about it, though. Going to the outside. I don't know what she's doing here. This is a submission match. So the only way to win this is by submitting your opponent. Like I said, Carrie, like if I don't want to just book matches just to book matches. Like I don't want to, you know, when I go through, I think of the storylines that I want to create. And if that superstar doesn't fit that storyline, I'm not just going to throw him in a match. And there's no women's tag team titles anymore, so a lot of the storylines that I had, I tossed out because I couldn't make any good storylines out of women's being tag teams. I mean, you could throw in Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose with Paige and stuff like the Absolution thing, but even I didn't like that. That would have been cool if they made Paige Raw Women's Champion and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville Tag Champions. Like that would have been cool if that's how if that ever happened, but I just didn't see anything happening with that storyline. Is Violet definitely taking it to Charlotte Flair here, but Charlotte looking to get back in this matchup, and that famous Flair strut made famous by her father, Ric Flair. And Charlotte is definitely fired up. I think she looked for the spear there. Violet able to reverse that one. Charlotte able to reverse. And again, doing the Flair strut. Violet trying to get back to a vertical base here. Tossing Charlotte to the outside. Yeah, but at the same time, who would be in a storyline with you? You know, that's the thing. Like, what would be a good rivalry? You know that, and if I can't see anything, then I won't do it. You know, if I don't think it would make a good pay-per-view match, or if I don't think it would make a good match, like if there's no story built into it, then it's kind of hard to, like with the Outlaws, like Parker, like it is pretty difficult. Like if you want to make an arena like mine, you just need to like make superstars and make a roster. I mean, it sounds. Wrestlers are really detailed, so with how they look and they have backstories and I do this fake Twitter thing where I make like tweets to emphasize storylines, and if that's that's kind of what I do, and a lot of times, and it's really like I'm just saying that it's very time consuming. Like if you're willing to spend that amount of time. Oh, titles isn't working right now? Titles ain't working right now? Hang on. Let's fix that. It might just be an issue with the bot. That happens sometimes. I'm restarting the bot, guys, so it might just be an issue with chatbot. Try it now, see if it works. One of y'all do it. There it goes. There it goes. It works now. See? There it goes. Just a little mix up with the bot. Sometimes that happens. Reversal there. Yeah, of course. As a women's wrestler, we want to... Yeah, it's... sort of a thing. And there's a lot of women who have... done a really good finisher, and I think it was Violet trying to look for Black Death here, but Charlotte able to use resiliency and get out of it. But Ed, if you're still in here, I'll definitely I'm figuring out storylines for Lockdown right now. I just premiered season 2, so I think I'll definitely use your guys, because I love how your guys look, and after playing around with them before, I think I can make a really good storyline with one of the superstars that I've made on Lockdown. I think I got some good ideas. I just got to run it by my buddy John here. Well, then again, there is no... But then again, how would we make that into the video game? See? Like, you gotta... It's sort of difficult to create it through the video game, And I don't want to just make a bunch of like Twitter stuff and do it that way, because that would kind of defeat the purpose. Because I don't know how else we would make it. Violet trying to wear down Charlotte just enough to get her to tap out to the Black Death, but she's got to work on the face of Charlotte. Like, that's the #1 thing. She's doing just that with a couple of punches. Working on the back. Self-promo, yeah. But then again, it's like... Then again, the promo engine kind of sucks in this game. Because, you know, it's weird what... And there's not many really good choices, you know. I don't want to, like, just... That's what I want them to do in, like, 2K20. Make a better, like, promo engine. It should be, but it ain't. And Charlotte was going for figure 4. And Violet's still very fresh and able to get out. Uh-oh. Violet rolling out. Take a little bit of a breather. Yeah, it should be. I would like that. Because imagine what we could do with the Outlaws, you know? Because the Outlaws love to talk, and, you know, I really think it would just be a really cool thing to have. Maybe in 2K20 we'll have something like that. What's Violet going for here? Uh-oh. This could be the end of Charlotte Flair here. Nightfall through the announce table. And throwing Violet back into the ring allows her to get some back to her bearings a little bit. Uh-oh. Violet working on the leg of Charlotte. And Charlotte able to get out. And another reversal by Charlotte there. Clothesline to Charlotte Flair. Again, this is a very back and forth matchup here. Bang! Super kick. Right on the dome of Charlotte. Let's see what goes on here. Nightfall again on Charlotte. That has to be it, right? Looking for Black Death. Black Death on Charlotte. Is Charlotte gonna hang on here? Charlotte trying to. But Charlotte can, and Charlotte taps out. And Violet wins. Wow. That was a perfect camera angle too. I like how they did with that. Let's see some of the highlights here. Nightfall through the announce table, Nightfall in the ring, and then ultimately Black Death here, as you can see. Charlotte held on for as long as she could, and but there's your winner, Violet. Doing her thing. Doing the little curtsy thing that she does. Yeah, but that's sort of the same thing. it's sort of the same thing though. Like, I don't want to do the same thing that Alexa and Nia did with the whole bullying storyline thing. Even though that was actually pretty good. But we have the RCW World Champion Edge versus The Rock in a steel cage match in the main event. Now this is, I believe this is Edge's first match since winning the title.
You think you know me?
And there he is. Man, I love his entrance music, dude. I swear, like, when I went through 2018, like, your 2018 Wrapped on Spotify or whatever, to tell you, like, what you listen to, one of my top artists was, like, WWE and stuff, because I spend a lot of time listening to the entrance themes. Because some of them are just freaking awesome, and Edge's entrance theme is, like, killer. What The Rock is cooking. The Rock definitely looking to put himself back in title contention as he beat Braun Strowman for the RCW World title back in Season 2, I believe. Or maybe it would have been Season 3. Was it Season 3? I think it was Season 2. It's hard to tell, hard to go that far back. He's got one of the best entrance themes too, in my opinion. That and like Stone Cold, Edge, and Paige, all those themes, I absolutely go nuts when I hear them. DDT on The Rock to start this one out. And a knee right to the face of the People's Champion. Couple of elbows. And The Rock takes Edge down, lifts him up. Rock able to reverse. Edge able to get out of that too as well. I think Rock was going for DDT too. And a big boot right to the Oh yeah, but at the same time, it's like what would come to that, you know? At the same time, like if Noelle got the elimination right, I mean, she would be kind of conceited and be like, haha, like I got it right, whatever. Now I'm hearing that like, how do you feel about being gone after fighting in that qualifying match? Uh-oh. DDT on The Rock! And The Rock trying to get back to his feet. The Rock is in big trouble here. Now these two just trying to follow each other around, but Edge taking a little too much time with that hesitation there. And The Rock looking to get out of the cage. But Edge able to stop him and a boot right to the face. Uh-oh. If Edge hits this, it's over. Spear on The Rock! And The Rock kicked out at 2. You can either win this by pinfall or submission, or escaping the cage. Whichever the superstar ends up choosing. And a back suplex. The Edge and The Rock is fired up. Here comes The Rock. Taking Edge down. Uh-oh, what's he going for here? Spine buster on Edge. Man, The Rock has turned this around. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. And Edge kicked out. He is the rated R superstar after all. Looking for rock bottom. But Edge reversed that. Going into a submission here, trying to make him fall asleep. But Edge, let's go. Looking for another DDT on The Rock. But plants Edge down. And The Rock looking to find a way to keep Edge down. Either so that he has enough time to get out of the cage or for the pin. Lifts him up. Tries to go for another spine buster, but Edge just tossing The Rock. I don't know how he could get enough strength to toss a behemoth like The Rock, but DDT on The Rock. I don't know how The Rock is moving at this point. Taking him down again. Looking for a spear on The Rock. We've seen Edge hit this numerous times. And a spear on the People's Champ. I think Edge is calling for the door. Referee allowing him to get out of the door. And Edge just walks out. Edge simply just walked out as The Rock was getting up. Edge just was like, "All right, I'm done. I'm walking out of here." He's like, "All right, I'm done." All right, I'm done. He's like, "All right, I did enough." and as The Rock got up, it got close. He was just like, "All right, I'm just gonna stand up, gonna go to the floor and win. You know, that's all. I'm done." That was fantastic. But that's gonna be our show for today. I think one thing is for sure, though. We can definitely confirm that there will be a match between Sky Outlaw and Luna Outlaw as at some point, even if it is not for the title. Since when did he get in a rivalry with what's his face? Andrade. Since when did that happen? Get the... I need to, like, reset these guys' goals. Defeat Brian Outlaw! You want to defeat Brian? Come on, Jimmy. You and I both know that can't happen. Come on. Is he really that triggered? Is he really that mad? Is he really that? Yeah, but Edge was a savage in that instance, I think. I apologize for the bot not working. I probably should have realized that it wasn't. But I had it up. I had it up and open because if you don't have Streamlabs chatbot open, then the commands aren't gonna work and none of it's gonna work. So I had it open. I don't know why it wasn't working. Maybe there was like a connectivity issue or something like that. But that is our show for today. I'm really excited, especially with the storyline that we got going with Sky and Luna. And I think based on the conversation that John and I had discussing this when, because it was him that I actually thought of it a little bit, but the way he explained it, when we were talking about it, he said, like, metaphorically that it's like Luna Outlaw wants to step up to Sky and prove that she's just as good, if not better, than her older sister Sky is. So I think having that sort of feeling and having that carry out the storyline, I think that is phenomenal. I think just being able to put that story and that feeling, because let's face it, you know, it has happened in real life millions of times. I know people who have brothers or sisters where one of them is always doing better than the other one, or one of them, it always seems like they're the one that's doing better, or you either get that one brother that's not good at school and one that's really good at school, or the one that's a really good guy and the one that's the bad guy, so the brother ends up like the good guy who's the good brother ends up always getting like bashed all the time because of what his brother has done. So, you know, it's sort of that realism in the sense of like, yeah, that can actually happen. And I think with Sky and Luna being sisters and this whole family-oriented thing, and them being family, and because at the end of the day, the Outlaws are a family. They don't care whether or not who has the title. Even if, hypothetically, even if Sky and Luna were to go up against each other for the title, and Luna were to win it, I think that would like boost Luna's confidence 110%. Not that it isn't high, especially after the match that we just seen. But I feel like in the back of Sky's mind that she feels that she can be beaten. And you know, there's not, and what I've noticed is you know, it's almost like when Ronda Rousey was beaten. When she was beaten in the UFC fight, where she lost really bad, and then she lost really bad a second time. You know, it's that first defeat like absolutely crushed her, but losing twice was that was like that really damaged her in a way, and I feel like that same thing could happen to Sky, in which she loses the title, and let alone her losing the title, and let alone to her sister. You know, that I think if she lost it to someone like Paige, because we've seen Paige and Sky go at it before, and she's beaten Paige before, but with that's a little different. When it's your own sister in there, you sort of have to forget about the fact that, hey, that's my own sister, and you gotta focus on what you really want, which is the title at the end of the day. Because I believe that's what Sky and Luna both really want. Is Sky wants to continue her title reign, and Luna wants to have that chance of stardom and that chance to not necessarily prove herself to her sister, because never once have I ever heard Sky say that Luna is beneath her. Like, the Outlaws, they don't bash each other. I mean, they'll like joke around with each other and stuff like that. Like, that's what siblings do. But you'll never hear them say that one sucks and that one is terrible or whatever. You'll never hear any of them say that to each other. They'll say that to other people, but they won't say that to each other. And I think Sky and Luna have something special. I really do agree, John. I think they got something really special that they can offer the women's division as competitors, and even as against each other. Like I said earlier, and I will say it again, when I talked to Sky, she said that her sister and herself bring out the best in each other. And she says, and I quote, "If beating me for the title is what she has to do, then so be it. I would be nothing but happy for her." You know, and she knows that, and Luna's always been that type of person. You know, being as young as she is and having as much potential as she does, she's always been that type of person to better herself. All the Outlaws have. But I feel like when you're the younger, or you're the odd one out, because Sky and Luna and Sky, Brian, and Jason, all three of those, her brothers and her sister, were in wrestling a lot longer than Luna was. Luna was the last one to get in. So the whole time she was trying to prove herself to the pedigree of being a professional wrestler. And I feel like in the back of her mind, as she was going through that training with Sky, and as she was going through lockdown, waiting to be called up to RCW, I feel like there's always been that one thing that she's always wanted to prove. And I feel like she's doing this for herself. She's not necessarily doing it so that Sky realizes that her sister is a competitor and that her sister can actually beat her. It's more or less for Luna herself to prove that she is just as good as Sky is. It's more of her proving herself wrong than proving Sky wrong or right, depending on how you take it. I feel like that's what Luna really wants to do. And honestly, I don't really know what could happen if Luna doesn't beat Sky for the title. If there ends up being a title match and at the Anarchy or Riot pay-per-view, and Luna doesn't beat Sky for the title, there's no denying like that she's gonna feel like that opportunity slipped from her fingers. But I think just the possibility of her getting that title shot and that opportunity, I mean, it's totally different because she was in the Elimination Chamber match for a couple minutes against Sky. It's totally different when it's a one-on-one scenario. Your strategy changes, everything changes. You know, it doesn't necessarily matter. And, you know, especially after losing to Sasha Banks because of a goof from the ref, Luna's not going to be happy about that. So she's going to have that anger, and I feel like anger drives the Outlaws. Anger drives them. When they're pissed off, it drives them to strive better, and it makes them want to do better. And if that's beating the crap out of your own sister, then that's how it is. And and I think Luna definitely wants to prove something to everybody and to prove something to herself. And I think the only way to do that in her mind is to beat Sky for the title. And so I am making it official with this announcement. There will be a match between Sky and Luna for the RCW Women's Championship at Anarchy. I think it's only right, based on what we've seen so far from both of these ladies, and based on what we've seen in the Elimination Chamber match that took place at Forsaken. Even if it was for a couple minutes, those couple minutes of Luna kicking out of Skyfall twice, and the amount of heart that Luna has, like, there's no denying that's going to be a match for the ages. And that match will be the main event of the show. So that match will definitely be the main event on that card once we get to it. But we are, let's see, 7 episodes away from that match taking place. That doesn't mean that something can't happen within those 7 episodes that either jeopardizes the match or adds more fuel to the fire. And I think, and as far as stipulation-wise, I don't know. Maybe Luna borrows the Lights Out match from Brian, or we see something a little different. Let me know what you guys think. What for that match? I kind of want to get some of your guys' ideas in, and see what happens. As far as stipulation-wise, should I make a stipulation? I think it's only fair if I make one. Because as much as I would love Hell in a Cell, if I can make a really good stipulation out of Hell in a Cell or out of one of those brutal matches, like, I would love to do that. And I think Hell in a Cell, from its standpoint, is the only way to settle that. And I'm not saying it's going to be a regular Hell in a Cell match. There might be some stipulation for the Sky and Luna championship match. Because I'm making it official now. There will be one at RCW Anarchy. There will be one. Luna's waited long enough to get her title shot. One-on-one. And I think it's only right that she gets her title shot this season. And I doubt she wants to wait all the way to RCW Riot to get her shot. I think it just has to be a straight 1v1 or maybe a no disqualification. But at the same time, I kind of agree with that, because with there being any other stipulation other than that, one of these ladies can use anything to their advantage, whereas if it's a straight up 1v1, it's fair and square. Yeah, why would the sister sign up for... Yeah. Yeah, they don't hate each other, that's true. They don't hate each other. But at the same time... At the same time, it's for the title. But I think you're right, John. I think it has to be a straight up 1v1 normal, none of the weird stipulations. I think it's got to be a straight up match. And I think even with it being a normal match, with countouts, with disqualifications, with stuff, anything can happen. You know, maybe we see Luna kind of pull a fast one or something like that to win the title. Anyone can prove that they're best with the weapon. Yeah, that is true. And the outlaw weapon of choice is a steel chair. Now, it would be really cool if we could just, like, make stipulations where it's, like, kind of like a steel chair match. But, unfortunately, 2K19 doesn't let us do that, which kind of sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. I agree, I think it should be a straight-up 1v1 normal match. That way, it's in-ring capability and no other things, because I think when you mix weapons in between, anybody can know how to hit somebody in the head with a steel chair. You know, there's not much knowledge that goes into that. So I think, and especially after what we had seen in the Elimination Chamber match with Luna kicking out of the Skyfall twice in a row, 2 times in a row. Like, that's that and that was falls count anywhere. Like, that was falls count outside the ring. Like, you know, there was no weapons, there was no, you know, nothing. It felt like a normal match except for the fact that they were in pods and there was a cage surrounding the ring. For the most part, it was a normal match. Like, nobody really had an advantage over anybody. And it was one of those matches where anything could have happened. So anything could have transpired between those two ladies in that chamber if it did. And that's what happened, was that Luna wasn't ready to give up. And Luna being the last one against Sky, and Sky nearly walking out of the Elimination Chamber match without the title. Like, that's, I feel like that has to be in the back of her mind, like, holy crap, I almost didn't retain my title there. And I wouldn't say she got lucky, I would just say that the better sister won that day. And plus Luna was not 100% in that matchup too. She was beaten and battered in that matchup as well. So I think having 100% both of these ladies, and I'm gonna protect the hell out of these ladies here. You know, you might have seen Luna Outlaw in a match with Sasha Banks today, but going forward, I'm gonna try to protect these ladies. Even if we end up having them in matches, I want all of them to be at 100%. So, you know, we'll still see them throughout the season, but I want to make sure that these two ladies are 100%. No injuries, no nothing. I want to make sure that these ladies are 100% when they go into that match. Because if that match is going to be the main event of the evening on that show, then we need to make sure that those ladies are 100% and not suffering from any injury. So it should be very interesting. I can't wait to actually like get that. I can't wait till we actually get that. Um. So it would be. I wouldn't book them to the go home show. The Anarchy. Oh, so you wouldn't book them for the. Why not? Cause that's like a. I would say that that's a main event caliber one. Because we've never seen it. Unless we wait to Riot and then have it done. Wait all the way to the end. I mean, that would be the smart idea, but... Or they could be the co-main event and then have the world title. Whatever match that is. That ends up being Edge versus somebody. Oh, go home means the episode before the pay-per-view. I wouldn't book them for a match on that. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. That was my whole point that I was making, that I was going to that was my whole point that I was gonna make, like protecting those ladies and making sure that they are 100% for the matchup. And obviously I can't. I think Anarchy is gonna be episode 10. Anarchy is gonna be season 4, episode 10. And I think it is gonna be the main event. As much as I would love to see Edge versus whoever, I think since the magnitude of this match and the fact is that there are high stakes in this matchup, not just because the title is, not just because it's a title match, but because it's a, you know, it's a sister versus sister. It's prove who's the best. I think the only way to do that is main event, and I think that would be something for a lot of people to think about. Like that's gonna be a match that everyone's gonna be talking about after that episode is over. And that's gonna be a match that nobody's gonna want to miss. So I definitely do agree. I definitely do agree with that. It should be interesting to see how Luna takes this loss, though, that just happened today. I really think Luna got a little screwed over by the referee there. By the referee not being able to see her hand on the rope. But it is what it is there. And we might have to. We might have to hire a new ref after that, because that was straight up. That was straight up like pathetic. Right there. I think. I don't know what to say. I think we have. Should we hire a new ref? Is that ref relieved of his duties? Is that? Is that ref relieved of his duties? Even the probably Japanese guy could do a better job. F that ref. F that ref. I don't know, the ECW referee looks pretty dope. I think we're gonna hire a new referee. That's what we're doing. The referee's been relieved of his duties. Referee Tyrone, whatever the hell you want to call him, I don't know. Tyrone or cool. Oh my god. You know that guy Tyrone, right? The guy that's on YouTube, the really big guy that makes all those funny vines or whatever. He used to make all those funny like stupid vines. Yeah, I use the ECW rep because I like the stripes and he doesn't have a company logo on his shirt. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use him. Alright, guys, so the ref has been fired! The ref is gone. After that, like, he had way too many mishaps. And I think that's what oh, whoops. What did I click on? Okay, I clicked on that. Tyrone Magnus yeah! I know that guy. I know that dude. But no, I'm talking about the one guy that was in the frickin' not the reaction vid, whatever that dude's name was. You know, the one guy that tosses the big dude in the river and like, cool up, motherfucker. Yeah, and he tosses the guy in the river and stuff. I don't know, like, I think it's time, since he is the ref on all of our shows, it is time to relieve the ref on every single one of our shows. It is time to make him go away, as RCW Anarchy is in Montreal. But we are making sure that he is our ref for all of our pay-per-views. There we go. There you go, ref. There you go. Welcome to the RCW team, my dude. Hopefully you can do a better job than our last guy, but we relieved Mr. Tyrone for the duties. I don't know. Let's think of a name for our ref. In Discord. Let's talk about that in Discord, and let's think of a new name for our brand new ref. Because Mr. Tyrone, you are done. You are done, my friend. You are done, especially after that performance. You are done. So thank you guys for joining me today for another episode of RCW. Let me know what you guys think about the first announced match for the RCW Anarchy pay-per-view. Don't worry, I'll make sure that those ladies get protected. Make sure that I'll still use them in some way, shape, or form. But you might not see Sky and Luna as we get closer and closer to the pay-per-view, because I want to make sure that those ladies are protected and ready to go. For their championship matchup, because I don't want either of them to get an advantage over the other, with one being injured and one not being injured. So, with that said, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys for watching. Let's see if I can't wait for all the discussions that we're going to have regarding that one match. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things we can talk about with that match being announced. So I can't wait for that match, but we still got 7 more episodes to go, and a lot can happen within those. So So with that said, thank you guys for joining me today, and I will catch you guys on the next stream, which will be Wednesday as of now.